Tarot cards. Let's talk about them. Tarot is something that is steeped in mysticism. A lot of people don't really understand it unless they actively kind of research tarot cards. They are attributed to witchcraft, the Romani, are steeped in mysticism, and have a lot of imagery that sometimes makes people uncomfortable or worries that they're going to have something happen to them. That's really not the case. I mean, tarot is something that's supposed to help you guide yourself with your intuition based on what you know about the situation you're going through. I'm actually developing 2 tarot decks, 2 Rider-Waite tarot decks. So the Rider-Waite style is just a type of deck. There are different styles of tarot, and the Rider-Waite decks have a specific order to them. So most modern decks are based on Rider-Waite. I'm not going to go into all of the meaning behind that, but there's the term if you want to look it up yourself. The Rider-Waite decks are typically coins, cups, wands, and swords. And what I'm working on screen right now is obviously none of those. This is the Ace of Thorns, and this is from one of the 2 companion decks that I am working on. Later on, you'll see some footage from the other deck, same card. So what I wanted to talk about was the Ace of Thorns. Specifically, what that is a stand-in for, what the cards will mean, and why I'm doing this project. Tales from the Night Garden, which is a series that I've been co-writing with my best friend, and one of my flagship things right now, is very heavily steeped in witches. The main characters are a vampire and a werewolf, but it is heavily steeped in witches. There is a clandestine underground that is run with witches. There's a lot of magic that's talked about and involved. And one of the most important people in Acanthus's backstory is a witch. So it made sense to me to bring in tarot as something that bridges the real world belief into our kind of fantasy belief. So I decided to do 2 companion decks. The Healing Thorn focuses more on Cypress's point of view. It's a little bit more positive. And the Cursed Thorn, which is what this card is from, is focusing a little bit more on Acanthus's point of view and has a darker kind of feel to it, a little bit more negative. Now, that doesn't mean that the cards are positive and negative, because tarot cards don't really have a leaning like that. There can be both positive and negative meanings in tarot in each and every card. So it's really just what you ascribe to the situation. The Suit of Thorns is the stand-in for the Suit of Wands in a traditional Rider-Waite deck. Thorns are the creative self. They are representing your inner spirit, passion, inspiration. They're associated with fire, and they can also point towards activism and inspired ideas, things that signify creativity. You can think of this suit as your muse. Wands are all about our intent. So thorns are something that are beautiful, and they tend to adorn beautiful things like roses. Thistles, it's got a very floral motif because of how the Night Garden is set up. But if we're not careful, we can cut ourselves, we can make ourselves bleed. Our passion can hurt us, right? So that's the warning and the advice in this suit in general. I mentioned that there is a floral motif to the cards. This is because thorns are a repeating motif in the Night Garden, especially in terms of vampires and particularly Acanthus. When in control, fire like a thorn can be constructive and beautiful. Otherwise, it can be destructive and tear down everything in its path. Thorns are also used a lot to refer to the Night Garden and the garden paths, since Acanthus likes to use plant imagery for the paths that they created. So the thorns are ruled by the pack and the Night Garden in general. A lot of these cards will have imagery of Acanthus, Cypress, the main pack, and people who are attributed to the pack by being part of the Night Garden. And then aces are all about intent. They are the core energy of a suit. They symbolize beginnings, potential, opportunity. If the core of the Thorns is the creative self and the muse, then this card is passion, inspiration, good things about to begin, a creative life, and a renaissance of love for new projects and birthing something new. So maybe you're having a burst of creativity and you're ready to nurture a new project and bring it to fruition. If you move quickly, trust your gut, and don't be afraid to take risks, then that would be what the advice is in this card. Sometimes in tarot, you also have cards that come out as reversed, and an ace of thorns reversed means that maybe your life's gone off the rails a little bit, or you feel like you are creatively stuck. You're in like a art block or writer's block or whatever the case may be. Maybe you've lost your love for a project. If you backtrack a little, see where things went wrong, once you fix the error, then it will be easier to start again. So these are the meanings in these particular cards. Now we've switched over to the Healed Thorn deck. The Cursed Thorn is Acanthus pressing their hand into a thorn. This is partially because Acanthus particularly gets their power from blood, and this is made pretty apparent in the series. This one, the Healed Thorn, is a rose in a sunbeam. And because this one is supposed to be, the Healed Thorn is supposed to be from Cypress's point of view, or more like following Cypress's thought processes, Cypress is somebody who gives a lot of himself and also really appreciates beauty of simple things. And let's say he had to trim the rose bushes. Cypress is the kind of guy who would keep those cuttings instead of getting rid of them because he feels bad for taking the life of the plant. So that's kind of imbued into this card too. Acanthus's is a little bit more like self-sacrificing, and Cypress's is a little bit more focused on beauty and the potential of something. So that's a little bit of a deep dive into the Ace of Thorns cards. I don't know if I'll do this for every single card. I might only do it for a few in the series, or at least the major arcana, because there are 78 cards in a tarot deck, and I'm doing 2 decks. So that is 156 cards. That is a lot of video to take, but it could be fun. And if people have an interest in it, then I will absolutely take the time to share. For now, I am planning on doing a little bit deeper dives on Patreon. So if that is something that you're interested in, then make sure that you consider signing up. There are links in the description below. Patreon also gets extra little perks, like I just uploaded the 2nd chapter of the audiobook to Patreon for Lemon Balm. Lemon Balm is not going to have an audiobook released for at least a year, but the audiobook is being shared on Patreon as we make it. So if that's something you're interested in, consider supporting that way. Just as an aside, if you prefer coffee or Substack or something like that, then all the stuff that I just said about Patreon is also available on Ko-fi, Substack, or my own website. So you can become a member at any one of those 4 places and still have access to all of the rewards that I give. We're coming up to the final result of the cards here, so I just want to thank you guys for watching and taking the time to learn a little bit more about tarot with me today, and also taking some interest in my project. So with that, let's switch over to the final results, and here we have it. these are the Ace of Cursed and Healed Thorns. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.